Humans share two enduring fears. We fear the physical destruction of our bodies and our homes, and we fear the absolute ruin of our reputation. Thousands of years ago, a writer penned a specific defense against these exact terrors. "No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment I condemn." You likely know it as Isaiah 54:17. Today, you can find those words stamped on coffee mugs, printed on bumper stickers, and hanging in decorative frames. But repeating it as a daily affirmation smooths over the violent reality that produced it. To actually use this text to build mental resilience, we have to look closely at the historical trauma its authors were living through. Only by confronting the absolute despair of the ancient Israelites can we turn a familiar quote into a functioning, unshakable shield for our own lives. We have to step back into the ancient Near East, specifically the aftermath of the Babylonian conquest. The Israelites didn't write about metaphorical weapons. They had just watched literal siege engines, swords, and fire systematically dismantle their capital city and their sacred temple. The survivors were marched out of the rebel and into the heart of the conquering empire. They walked as captives beneath towering monuments of their enemies, enduring the constant, mocking judgment of the people who now owned them. The authors recorded the promise of Isaiah 54:17 while living in a state of total defeat and exile, surrounded by the empire that crushed them. This text originated in the ashes of a conquered people. It was engineered specifically for worst-case, existential scenarios. With that context in mind, the two distinct protections offered in the verse take on a very literal meaning. First, look at the physical threat. "No weapon formed against me." The original Hebrew text evokes the image of a blacksmith at the forge. He is deliberately heating metal and pounding it out to craft an instrument meant for your destruction. The verse makes a crucial concession. It assumes the enemy will successfully forge the weapon, and it assumes the weapon will be swung. The guarantee is simply that the weapon will fail to achieve its ultimate goal of destroying your soul. Then the verse addresses the societal threat. "And every tongue that rises against me in judgment I condemn." In the ancient world, legal proceedings and social condemnations didn't happen behind closed doors. They took place out in the open, at the bustling physical gates of the city for everyone to hear. Here, the text acts as a legal advocate. It steps in to publicly overrule the false narratives, the mocking, and the societal condemnation of the captors. The text provided a specific defense against the two primary ways an ancient civilization could be erased: the conqueror's sword and the oppressor's court. We rarely face Babylonian siege engines today, but the dual mechanics of external attack and social ruin operate exactly the same way. The modern weapons forged against us take different forms. They look like systemic hardship, chronic anxiety, severe illness, or the sudden impact of trauma. And the modern tongues are digital mobs, toxic workplace politics, vicious reputational attacks, and even our own internal negative self-talk. Bad things will happen. The modern weapons and the critics will still take their swings, and those swings will make impact. Applying the text today means accepting a harsh reality while maintaining an absolute legal certainty. External forces and public opinions do not have the authority to define your final worth. Spiritual resilience requires letting go of the hope that you will never be attacked or criticized, and replacing it with the unshakable faith that neither of them will ever have the final word.